a challenge, because the year we're going into is going to be a very trying year. Oh, by the way, everybody within the USA, right? We have a very unusual dip in the jet stream. I'm calling that an Arctic push. I briefly spoke about this a few days ago, but temperatures are going to plummet, and because we're going to have to all deal with that. That's going to cause irreversible damage to the roads, concrete structures, and the like. But it will kill bugs. That's a good thing, because this year coming up is going to be bug central everywhere. I'm not looking forward to that, but it's coming. The water woes are going to be devastating this time around. I'm not looking forward to that either. I really am not. So, because for example, COT's home base, right, used to be on the East Coast. Now it's in the middle of the country, but we still have a data hub on the East Coast. So, but all that's being shuffled, moved away from the East Coast. All of it is. Every lock, stock, and barrel has got to go, can be on the East Coast. But we still have one there. Water is going to be quite vicious on the East Coast. You should know that there's water inside the Appalachian Mountains, and that's going to play a role too. So water will also push up from certain places. So don't be surprised if you live in a neighborhood that's isolated, has never seen, a lot of rain, and without rain, you wake up and everything is flooded. Don't be surprised. All right? Water will come from beneath your feet too. They actually had a computer in 1946, and with that computer, they utilized reflective materials to reflect infrared back on the surface of the planet. Why? Because when infrared is very short light spectrum, which when it reflects back, it'll have the absence of something or the presence of something, but it's very quick in when it reflects back, and they were monitoring the surface of the planet that way with a supercomputer of that hour that would track everything living on the surface of the planet. They've been up to some things, right? The processor for that computer was about the size of the Empire State Building. If any evil organization had medical wherewithal to get what they needed, there's an availability right now where they could kill every single living soul on this earth. They don't need a vaccine. They don't need chemtrails. They don't need any of that. People normally stick to those methods because they don't know about the other methods. And once they find out about the other methods, they stop talking about chemtrails and vaccinations. That's when they begin to worry about other things. But I'll say it again, and I've said this a lot. If I were an evil scientist or an evil government, and I really wanted to get rid of half the population, I could do so in 3 days, 2 days. When somebody has the technology to infect a dust mite, to transmit certain things from person to person, you get a problem. You get a problem. Can you discuss the fog? Well, the fog you're seeing now, and that's some of the fog that people are seeing is not what they think it is. Not yet. Not yet. You will not mistake the settling fog. None of us will. Or Apollo exist as such to our ancestors. But yeah, they've been back. They never truly left. He's talking about the Nephilim. So to simplify that, did the Nephilim survive up until this very date? Yes, they did. Joshua messed up. He didn't fulfill the entire commandment of the Lord. See, when he went out to go fight those armies, the reason God told him to kill everybody and don't take anything from them, don't bring it back to your camp, 2 reasons. Number one, they were generations in Nephilim. They were not humans. They were hybrids. That's the first thing. Okay, that's why they were so large and they were so tiny. Not all Nephilim were large. Not all of them were large. And take note also in Genesis 6, right, that the fallen angels infected animals also. So the animals were affected. And insects were affected, mutated, altered. My personal belief, right, those are the dinosaur bones everybody seems to see. See, it was about 26 years ago, I caught science in a lie. A big lie. It's a lie that perpetuates to this very day. I also know that no scientist is going to be paid unless they go along with the Darwin narrative. They're not taking wives unto themselves this time, but they're mingling their seed with the seed of men. That's what they're doing, creating more hybrids. And those hybrids it's not a joke. People think it is right now. I don't mind saying it now because we're so close to a specific time, but it's not a joke. It's not a joke. They're giant tribes. Those things are back. They keep them, they keep those in uniform. The giant tribes. There are animals that should not be here on this earth, that are highly intelligent. Animals have capabilities. They're abominations more than anything else. They are. They have successfully mixed sea life with mammals. They did this several times, specifically squids. Okay, you have no business mixing a squid, right? A squid with cattle. This caused this whole mess. A cryptid, right? All 728 species of cryptids. Those species are nothing more than mixed up critters, right? That's all. Mixed up critters. And it's probably 748, but I'll say 720. They've been cataloged also. Every single report of everybody who ever talked about a cryptid, it's been cataloged in a red form, which means not trustworthy. But there have been 740 plus cryptids cataloged. Northern Lights in Chicago last night. People will start seeing them on a continuous basis near the Gulf. That's going to be a problem. That implies a very dangerous thing. It really does. It represents a very dangerous thing. And we're about to see them. We are. With other life forms on this earth, right? I want you guys to remember something. There are lots of things on this earth, uncatalogued, that we don't know about, right? Don't let them be too big of a distraction. Don't do that. Because spirits can manifest. You're really warring against these manifested creatures of a hidden realm, right? Men will embrace them and serve them. We are not to serve them nor embrace them. We're not. Please be aware. Tonight, there are threats. You have to be vigilant. In the USA now, you have to be. Right? There are large-scale threats against the USA tonight. Somebody says, what is the new money system coming in? It's already beginning. It's already starting to circulate. The money system is something you guys ought to know about too. Listen, I know people have their take on the money system. But I want you to think about something. Men print the money, right? They print the money. The other money is tracked by a ledger system. It's a computer system, but still a ledger system. Money is a construct. Money is. It is a fabricated construct that they got everybody used to. If I came into a town, And all of a sudden I had a coin. I started passing that coin around. I said, I'm going to say, if you guys want something from me, you have to use that coin, right? And then they started using that coin, and I expanded. And so I began to offer lots of different things, but they're utilizing my coin. You would have some that get rich, relative to the little environment I cause. They would get rich from that coin, but still, it's a manufactured coin that empowers them, right, to get things from those who control the coin. In other words, it's a controlled system. Anybody else have a, let me see, Mike, how exactly does the music and entertainment industry cast spells on people and they can't understand that they're being manipulated or anxious controlled by... Yes, they know they're being manipulated. Listen, they agree to be manipulated. Why? For money. You get a person desperate. First of all, if you get a person who's utilizing their talents to make it, nobody's recognizing them, a desire creeps up within them. They begin to do everything just to be noticed. And then all of a sudden, when somebody breaks out and notices that person's talent, it is so positive, but only because that same person has been rejected, right? Now, then they make a little cash. And when they make that cash, their lifestyle gets better. They're not going to be willing to part from that lifestyle and go back to the nightmare of living on the street. So they begin to do everything and anything to keep the money. Okay, they keep the money. They're not going to go back to a broke status. They're not going to do that. Then they find themselves in the middle, and they're not moral, by the way, because to get to, based on how much money you make, you're going to have to make agreements to do certain things. But I'll tell you something real that maybe nobody else told you. While everybody's fascinated behind certain facts about the entertainment industry, please have an understanding of this. Those positions require that they recruit people. I've had four prominent individuals, tell me the exact same story. And these 4 individuals, they don't even talk to each other. Listen to me. They get up into these levels, and they agree to demonic terms. How does a Blue Lodge Mason who becomes a Christian renounce oaths and stop paying dues without danger? There's going to be danger. Let me ask you this. Can you perceive that you're in danger already? But all of you who accepted Christ for real, Satan will never befriend you. And if you ever fall away from the Lord, you're not going to walk into the dark side and become one with it. You will be killed by it. Do you know why? Even Satan demands a type of loyalty. Is the Majestic 12 real? Yeah, they were real. They were. They're not called that now, but they were. They most certainly were. And some people in COT, they were drugged into the whole issue because of their parents. There's a couple cases, it's a dozen cases of that, COT, a little more than that. But to some of us, because of our parents, were inadvertently, you could say, exposed to what we were exposed to. That's disturbing. And Saudi Arabia, get ready. They will rise. The curtains are going to come back.